Hello everybody, it's me, AC, and I'm back here. And after the shutdown, or technically before the shutdown of Dueling Network, I was holding a tournament, as some of you may or may not know. It was the Demise Dueling Network tournament. The Dueling Network Demise tournament, whichever one tickles your fancy more, I suppose. And the tournament was in order to celebrate all the years in DN. A lot of people wanted to take part in it, a lot of people didn't show up though. But the rules were stated that there was going to be no ban list. Everything was currently unbanned, and we had a lot of crazy people coming along. We had full-powered spellbooks join the match, or join the fray. We had a full-powered magical explosion FTK. I really wasn't expecting that out of all things. I did make sure that Yugioh was not allowed though, because all the draw cards available to them at 3 would be a bit much. So I didn't allow that. But the winner took me by surprise, and I'm really happy this was the individual that won. He didn't use anything that was banned. He used everything that was technically adhering to the current ban list. And it was a Hungry Burger Beatrice Turbo deck, which performed extremely well. This individual played really well. He played like a champion in every single way, shape, and form, and he was a worthy adversary to everybody who was in the tournament. He went through, I believe it was one or was it 2 full-power spellbook players, while at the finals beating up Magical Explosion FTK. He was an amazing duelist, he/she, because I'm going to assume he's a he. But regardless, here's the deck profile that I promised this individual for the tournament, and after the deck profile, I will be saying some words to DN and how I feel about the situation. So let's get to the deck profile, because I'll go through some combos that I saw him perform. We'll talk about that, but we'll start out with his 2 Labradite Dragon, which is basically his tuner and the way he was able to make Ultimaya Sultan down here. I'm just gonna call it Ultimaya, if you guys don't mind. Followed by BLS, great beater, just sort of, you know, clearly is a game changer overall. As soon as you draw and you play such an equal amount of darks and lights, it just makes sense. He plays 3 of the Hieratic Dragon of Su. And Su's just a great hieratic card. Just you can special summon that card by tributing the initial one over here that can normal summon without tributes, along with this one over here. But then he plays the Trefnut. I can never pronounce that one. I'm just gonna call it Tref or Tiff. And they played Stego Cyber, which I was really surprised about, but overall it makes complete sense, being that it's a Beatrice Turbo deck. So he's playing 6 cards here at level 6s. So being that it's a level 6, they can just revive by paying 1k. It's pretty decent when you think about it. And he just takes no battle damage, so it also saves him in a way, shape, and regard. It's decent. And since you're using it as an overlay material, and when you detach it for Beatrice or any other rank 6, it's just going to get sent to the graveyard for you to use later. So, you know, it's pretty decent. I like it myself. I like the idea. And he played Malicious, which I really like the idea of playing Malicious. The reason why he played Malicious made complete sense because it's a level 6, so it pays the cost of Hungry Burger with the hamburger recipe. So therefore, he can just banish the Malicious and make a Beatrice right then and there, which makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure if this isn't his own creation. I don't believe I've ever seen a Beatrice Turbo deck that utilizes Hungry Burger and Malicious in this way. I've seen them all use Malicious, of course, and such, but I've never seen them use a Hungry Burger like that. He plays one to set. The set's just the one that you can normal summon without the tributing, so you get out the Sue and such, and then he plays 2 Armageddon Knight. The Armageddon Knight is just easy to send either the Stego or a Malicious if he hasn't already used one, maybe. More than likely the Stego, though. He played 2 Summoner Monk, probably because he's huge spell count over here. The spell count's an extremely powerful spell count as well. He also, and the 3 Hungry Burger, of course, as well. Being that this is the Hungry Burger deck, and being that's also a dark, which is really convenient, it also feeds the BLS food. Or the BLS food and the Lore of Darkness food. He played Pre-Prep, because Pre-Prep is amazing, as we all know. He played Hieratic Seal, so he could just add any Hieratic he wants, more than likely. If he hasn't opened this one, probably going to open up that one. He also played a Bamboo Sword Engine, which seemed interesting enough. I mean, he gave him Pot of Greed, even though he technically had Pot of Greed available to him, being that the rule was that we weren't going to use a ban list outside of Yugioh, of course. So he could have played 3 Pot of Greed instead, and it would have had technically more room for putting cards in and adding additional engines and such, and additional gimmicks if he really wanted to, but he didn't. He played 1 Preparation Rites, 3 the Ritual for Hungry Burger Hamburger Recipe, 1 a copy of Broken Sword for his engine, and 3 Cursed Bamboo Sword. Which, when you think about it, since they're sent to the graveyard via material, after material, you're able to add the other bamboo swords to your hand and such, and getting the cursed bamboo sword, it's just pretty good, even if you're going second, because you can equip it to the opponent's monster, and if you have a golden, just activate it. So, you get to draw 2 right there. That's pretty cool. The extra deck is as followed. He's playing 1 Dante Pilgrim in order to feed the Beatrices if they leave the board, so at least has some advantage. He has an Ultimaya, which he easily makes with a Labradite Dragon and the Heretic Engine and the Maliciouses, followed by a Bleeze, which is all 3 of these are basically Heretic food, or Ultimaya food. Ultimate targets. My apologies. Number 39, Beyond the Hope. Just a great card to out situations, being it's non-targeting. And gets these. We also had a I forgot to mention, we also had a Cosmo player. I was hoping not to see current meta, but we saw a Cosmo player as well. That sort of bothered me because I thought we were going to have a more original lineup or newer, just like fresh, a breath of fresh air is what I was hoping for, but we did not receive that. But regardless, I played 2 copies of Beatrice, just because it's a turbo deck. It's, you know, I expected 3 when I saw him initially play the deck, but he's only playing 2. I kind of figured because he gets some of the 3rd one, we had an opportunity to. Or, you know, you can have an opportunity to. That's just me playing things in my head. They also play a Gauntlet Launcher, which is also a really good, just rank 6 in general. I mean, it just pops a card, but the targeting is a bit of a buzz, but, you know. They also played a Tum. Tum's also a great card, just grabbing the Labradite Dragon, making it easier to make the Ultimaya. So I really think that's awesome. He also played the Queen Jin, or Queen Dragon Jin. And that's also a great card, so you could get more food for the Ultimaya. The Castel, which is standard extra deck, along with the Gusto Emerald. He played a pretty standard side deck. It was like 3 Flying Sea and such. And it was all really standard. It was a really standard build overall. Sorry about that. I just noticed something was going on. By the way, that pause. Something was going on with my internet. But regardless, I'm going to get heap on this recording real quick. It was a really standard side deck. And this is the deck that went through about, I believe it was 15, 16 players. We technically had more, but they didn't show up on time, so I had to drop them. But this is the deck that surprisingly beat full power spellbooks outright and things of such. It was able to take on the Demise Dueling Network tournament, and it was successful in every way, shape, and form, being that it was able to destroy, demolish, and win without even taking advantage of the rule set, being that we had no ban list there. So everyone else was playing 3 Pot of Greed, and he was able to strike it down. He was able to do it without taking advantage, and that's quite amazing. It's a wonderful feat as a duelist and a wonderful deck. It was really entertaining to watch. It was a breath of fresh air, and it flew. It was quite flawless in execution, and it was wonderful to watch. And I thank you all who played in the tournament. I thank you all who supported the tournament. There was an individual who I just called him Met. That was his basically the abbreviation for his name on Dueling Network. His name was Met, and he was a wonderful supporter, and I enjoyed having him there. And he really wanted me to talk about my feelings about Dueling Network, which I did as it was happening in the proxy server. But that's when my fraps just sort of decided to die, I guess you could say. I mean, the recording went through, but then I guess it got corrupted afterwards. I guess it was something to do with the proxy server as a whole, but no confirmation on that. But I'm going to be talking about it right about now, so shout-outs to everybody who was in the Demise tournament, everybody who supported it. I do appreciate all the support that you guys gave me as well throughout the entire event, and I do appreciate it all. But now, time for my feelings against the Dueling Network Finasco, what happened with the server as a whole, and what I believe of the course of action that NAS has taken. First off, I'd like to say that I've been a big part of Dueling Network. I've been there since basically its creation. I've always enjoyed Dueling Network. It's been a site that has, as a whole, really given me more interest in the game. I've always loved playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Since basically the beginning, and Yu-Gi-Oh! As a whole is always a fun game. But as we all know, we all can't go out and get all the cards that we really want, and sometimes we don't know if it's worth making that deck, or if we're going to truly enjoy the deck. So when Dueling Network and Yugioh Pro and things as such came on, I mainly stuck to Dueling Network, and Dueling Network as itself made it so I could test the cars out. Made it so that I could evolve as a player and learn things and find out even more of what I want to do in the game. It helped elevate a lot of people's game. It helped make a lot of people and gave a lot of people something to do. It also helped them make a plenty of friends and make new allies and almost, in a way, make a new family. Everybody that I've dueled in Dueling Network I consider almost a part of the family. Family in the way that we dueled a lot. The people that I've dueled constantly on their friends, I consider them family. And there may be a few of you guys watching. I consider you guys, in a way, almost family, because we bonded. We had conversations, we've had debates, we've had our point of view, our decisions, we've had our political debates and things as such, and we've had our card debates, we've had our conversations on deck building and on duels and the state of the game. And even people in the public chat, as cancerous as public chat could be at times, or was at times, I should say, it was a good time. And you were all great people and all great amusement. And we should have known that this wouldn't have lasted as long. It shouldn't have lasted as long as it did. But we all know the reason why it's doing this, or why NASA's doing this. My theory is that Konami's probably telling them to, but I can't make absolute theories here. But I'm going to say that they are trying to push the game. They already released the app in Japan, and Konami knows they aren't the best at producing games for that. And I'm going to guarantee you that if you look at, let's say for an example, Reverse of Arcadia 2010 for the Nintendo DS, alright? After you click the game and you open it up, where the copyright from Konami is, I believe it's probably above it or underneath it. NAS is there, and even Ad Systems is also underneath the copyright. I guess they helped produce some of the games. I know they own the images, so they may not have done that, but if they have, they have. Regardless, I think they noticed that the games don't sell as well as they probably hoped. And they're probably blaming Dueling Network instead of their own shoddy developers for that. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the developers for releasing the game. I play them on occasion because sometimes the story is amusing. But they're not as good as Dueling Network gameplay-wise. I mean, the animations are quite tedious and annoying and things of such. But Dueling Network was a way that we could almost play as if we were playing in real life with cards. The only thing that I believe that they could have made them even the right to sue Dueling Network or cease and desist order them as being that they were technically making ad revenue off the site in order to keep the site alive. Then that's a shame because they needed that. They couldn't just take out the ads or else they wouldn't be able to pay for the site. They can't just stay up donations because people, not a lot of people, a decent amount of people donate, not a lot though anymore. But I really enjoyed my time at Dueling Network. Dueling Network was a place for me to go when I'm not at locals and when people aren't at locals, you know? And it gave me access to all the new cards to play without having to go on Yugioh Pro because I prefer the idea of me moving the cards around by myself and knowing the rulings and people having to know the rules and having that player interaction that it grants us, such as real life. And all you people, I hope you feel the same, and Dueling Network was just the right place for me. But I did grab the source files for Dueling Network. I went in there and I grabbed the source files. So I may attempt to release an application for Dueling Network that doesn't need ads because it's going to be an application similar to Yugioh Pro, but instead it's going to be in Dueling Network platform or format, or Dueling Network template, if you would. So you're going to be able to create or just do your duels the way you would in Dueling Network, just minus the ads that are on the front screen and such, so you're able to do it without them sending a cease and desist order. I'm fairly sure that's the only way they have you, and the only way they're capable of doing that. I believe that you are within fair use if you don't make any ad revenue off that. So I'm going to make it an application, and if it comes to it, I'll send it to down to a friend maybe, and I do have a few friends in Germany, so they may be able to hook us up down there, maybe hold the server for us. Because I believe down in Germany, I believe that's out of reach or something like that. I know there's a place, I believe, where their technically servers are out of reach and they can't technically send a cease and desist for things like that. But that's a long shot. But I'll try my best to make the application. No promises though. I'm only going to try, and if I fail, so be it. But I'll try again, and I'll keep on trying for you fellas. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope that everyone that was in the tournament, maybe will leave a comment, maybe tell me, leave a comment and such. But please make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, and maybe even subscribe to Little Old Me, because I work hard on this channel. I may not upload as often as I used to. That's because I've just been extremely busy with things in my life, and it's just sort of taken hold. But I guess it's time for me to be on my way until the next video. So I guess I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace. See you later.